What if I told you that the reason you're not where you want to be in life, why you haven't achieved what you want to achieve, isn't because you're not doing the right actions, you don't have the right perspective, or maybe you're not doing and hanging around the right people? The reason that you may be stuck where you are and you're not moving the needle forward at all is because you're still holding on to the old habits, the old self, and you're not willing to let go of that yet, and you're just very comfortable with the suffering and the comfort that your life has right now because you know it so well because you've been living in it for so long. So the point of this video is to kind of let you guys know, like, in order to move from where you are now to where you want to go, you have to leave something behind, and that something that you have to leave behind is your old self, old friends, old just the old way of life. Because in order to create something new, you can't have the old. You have to let go and have a new portrait, a new kind of canvas for yourself to paint the picture of your dream life that you actually want. And I found that out firsthand because back in America, back in my hometown, I wanted to create a dream life where I'd be able to travel the world, make money online, and basically just get to the point where I'm able to kind of retire my parents, be like financially independent, and be able to live life on my own terms, basically just living unchained and staying in my hometown, staying with the old group of friends that I had, and just living in that exact scenario would never have gotten me to where I wanted to go. So I had to branch out. I had to find a new way of living, and of course, it was very uncomfortable. It was very scary. There's no guarantees that I would make it to where I wanted to go. But the thing is, if you never take any risk, if you never take any action, if you never strive to create something new or to change, because I mean, change is scary. Every single person, they're conditioned to be afraid of change because they're conditioned to be a workhorse, basically a slave that's okay with living the exact same life for 75, 85 years and just being okay with being complacent, comfortable, and being okay living in suffering. But that's the whole point. You need to be able to reprogram your mind and reality to mold it to a place where you don't have to suffer every day and you don't have to work and create someone else's dreams. You're able to actually create your own dreams once you reprogram yourself and the wirings in your brain to realize that, okay, every human has unlimited potential. You're not going to be capped at making less than 100K a year. You're worth way more than that. You shouldn't just let a number on paper define who you are as a person or kind of value you as a human being, because let's be honest, you're priceless. No dollar amount is worth 85 years of your time. You need to find a way to free yourself and to create a life of your dreams that you love and enjoy, and that you're able to help not only yourself but your family, friends who are all there to support you in the whole entire process. So the one mistake that you might be holding on to right now, and that's kind of causing you to stay in this state of suffering and in this state of comfort and complacency that's keeping you at a mediocre level in life, is just the fact that you need to take action, you need to take risk, because the more risk you take, and from my personal experience, the bigger risk you take, of course, it's not guaranteed you'll make it to where you want to go. But even if you don't make it to that point in life where you want to go, you at least learn a big lesson. Because with myself coming out here to Bangkok, Thailand with $1,500 to my name, that was the biggest, like the absolute biggest risk I've ever taken in my life. And of course, it didn't turn out well at first. I went flat broke like 3 or 4 times. And I just knew that somehow if I just kept pushing through, I would make it to the other side. But the point is, it didn't work out immediately. I learned some very big lessons along the way to getting to where I wanted to go, making at least $10,000 a month online with remote sales. And without those big lessons that came from taking that big risk, I wouldn't be who I am today. Now that's very important, because if you never take any big risk or any risk at all, you're never going to learn anything new, and you're always going to have that same frame of mind that's holding you back from becoming that new person that you want to become, that's able to mold your reality to the point where you're able to enjoy every second of it, and you don't have to succumb to building another man's dreams, and you can focus on building your own dream for yourself, for your family, for your friends, and for everyone around you. Like, for example, back in university, I was the type of person that I would not even look down on. Like, I was just such a useless, helpless guy who was just smoking, drinking, partying, just giving into all sorts of pleasures, and I wasn't aligned with my mission and purpose that I was put on this earth to do. So going from that to living a life of purpose and determination that I would achieve anything I put my mind to, like going from that first type of person to the person I am now was such a big change, and it was very gradual. It wasn't like an overnight flip of a switch of like kind of change. But each and every day, I would focus on one thing that would help me move the needle forward to become this certain type of person I needed to become in order to create the life that I wanted for myself, for my family, and for my friends. Now, of course, I haven't created that entire reality yet. I'm only 21, but I am 100% sure I am on that path now. And I say that with the highest conviction because I know that if I keep doing what I'm doing now, the only thing that will stop me is death. So you should have the same exact mindset, even if you fail, even if you don't make it to where you want to go after trying, after taking risk. It's kind of like traveling. I know you guys have traveled before. You've probably stayed at good hotels and bad hotels. But when you guys stay at these bad hotels with cockroaches, shit on the sheets or something like that, I mean, that won't stop you from traveling ever again, right? I don't think so. So it's the same exact thing, translating that kind of analogy over into going after your goals. Let's just say for myself, I invested like 15,000, 20,000 into mentorship and courses with remote sales. And of course, some of them are good and some of them are bad. But the ones that were bad, it didn't stop me from taking the necessary steps and calculated risk to like keep investing myself. So that way I kept giving myself a chance to become successful at remote sales. Because if I had given up after those bad ones, I wouldn't have the skill set I have now. I wouldn't have the knowledge or network that I had now. And I would have just been stuck at a certain level. But because I didn't give up and I didn't let those bad experiences stop me from leveling up myself, I kept progressing in life and kept leveling up. So you need to be doing the exact same thing whenever you're trying to go towards whatever goals you have in life. Don't let any setbacks, failures, anything like that stop you. Look at what happened that didn't work, or like kind of see and reflect like what didn't work out and how did you feel when it didn't work out, and what can you do better next time, so that way whenever those obstacles and adversities come up in the future, you know exactly how to overcome them, to go over them, and to not let them stop you next time. Because that's the beauty of taking risk and taking action in life. Even if it doesn't work out, you can learn a lesson and you can learn what to do, what not to do next time. And you can even share that with your friends and family who might be a few steps behind you. So that way you can kind of lead them down the path of where you're going. Because otherwise, if let's just say you have a younger brother or any friends that are motivated as you and they have similar goals to you and they go down the same path as you, I mean, they don't want to go down that alone. That's why it's very important for you to find and align with people who have very similar goals as you, because if you have some friends that are stuck at level 0 and you try to go to level 5, 10, 15 and you try to level up your life, those friends at level 0, more than likely they're going to try to drag you back down to level 0. So you need to find more friends that align with your goals and are striving with you to the top. And another example, basically back in college and university, when I was working the 9 to 5 as well, I had a lot of friends who were drinking, smoking, partying, just doing a lot of degenerate activities. And I had to branch out from level 0 with them to level up my life to where I wanted it to be. And of course, they weren't really okay with that because they weren't willing to take the risk. They weren't willing to leave their comfort zone to go after their dreams like I was. So naturally, they tried to bring me back down, chain me down, and told me I wasn't good enough. I was never going to make it. I was going to go broke. I would never make it out in Thailand. But I mean, unfortunately, sometimes you do have to cut a few friends off, a few people off that are trying to hold you back, because the term like living unchained, which is like what my community is called, basically this means cutting off everything that is holding you back from reaching your goals. And if you can't cut those off, then you're still living in chains, and you have to break the chains in order to get you to where you want to go. Otherwise, you're always going to be held back. You're always going to be kind of held back from your true potential that you're setting out to fulfill as a man or a woman if you're watching this. But Yeah, being able to branch out, breaking those chains, and achieving the dream life that you want, all it takes is getting out of your comfort zone, finding the people that align with your goals, and taking the necessary risk and calculated taking the calculated risk and taking the necessary action to get you to where you want to go. So it's a simple three-step process. And if you never take this advice or never take action, risk, or find yourself in the right network, then unfortunately you're more than likely never going to get anywhere in life, or it'll take a lot longer than you want. So with that being said, guys, I hope you guys did enjoy the video. I'm gonna go work out, have a nice snack, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.